Have you ever had a double or a lookalike? In the era of social media, having someone that looks like you could just be a fun coincidence. But lore would have us believe otherwise. In the mythology of these twin strangers, tragedy could befall you if someone sees your double. Worse yet, seeing your own would mark your certain impending death. While the threat of being replaced by such an entity appears to be nothing more than a movie trope, should we all still fear the horrible possibilities of doppelgangers?
Welcome to 13 Degrees of Screams,
where we watch and dissect your favorite spooky movies.
I'm your host, Alex.
And Stephanie.
And this is a mostly horror podcast.
Each season, we will rank 13 movies on a scariness scale from, you guessed it, 1 to 13.
We will uncover the real-life myths and legends that inspire these movies and tell you just how authentic they are.
This week, we impersonate a puppet in Muppets Most Wanted.
So, Stephanie.
Yes.
Have you seen Muppets Most Wanted before we watch it for the podcast?
No, I haven't. I remember the commercials for it when it came out, though.
I don't.
No?
No, I don't think so. None of it looked familiar when I watched the movie. Let's put it that way.
Oh, okay.
Although, I didn't realize, you know that Kermit meme where he has like the
hood? Yeah.
I didn't know that's where this came from.
Oh, I did. I did that at least.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
When it came up, I'm like, holy shit, I've seen that before.
I was wondering if this would be the one from the tea too, but I must be another movie.
The which one? Oh,
when he's sipping the tea and he's like, but that's none of my business or whatever.
Yeah. That was exciting. I didn't realize that.
You saw the cloak and you're like, it is this.
Which one? I know what that is at least. Did you like it?
Yeah, I did. I think Muppets are fun. Did you ever watch any of the movies growing up?
I had Muppets Treasure Island.
I love that one.
I did too.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, I was never like a Muppets kid though.
Yeah.
Like I had a Kermit like toy when I was a kid that I really liked, but I never like really watched Muppets outside of that movie.
Okay. So I like the Pirates movie, but I can't remember too many others I actually watched. As I've gotten older, I've liked the Muppets Christmas Carol, so I'll put that on like during the holidays, obviously.
Oh, isn't it the one that has like a really creepy, one of the ghosts is really creepy looking?
Oh, maybe.
Oh, apparently you don't think so.
I don't remember, honestly.
JK.
Well, I'm sure. I mean, Christmas Carol always has like the creepy future ghosts, so just depends.
I don't even think it was a future one either, which is the funny part. You know,
it's like a weird puppet, and she's weird looking.
Yeah, the weird looking one.
Yeah, like they didn't bring her back for other movies. They were just like, that's good.
We traumatize enough people.
Yeah.
I've only seen bits and pieces of that one, and I remember like that being weird. I can't tell you what she looked like, but I remember.
I remember now. Yeah, it was.
That's not okay.
She's the ghost of the Piest, I think.
Is she? Now I gotta look it up. Hold on. Live reaction on the pot. Well, not live reaction. Oh yeah. Oh God. Oh God.
Let me see. I haven't seen it in a while.
Uncanny Valley.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. She's like human, but like not a human.
Yeah, like a mixture of a little girl and a puppet and a ghost.
Oh, that makes me so uncomfortable.
It is very uncomfy.
Look at, there's a PNG of her you can use for something. Okay, you know what? All right, I'm just going to say it. Obviously, we have this as a 1, but this movie would be a 12.
Yeah.
If we covered this movie because of this bitch.
Yeah. Okay.
But we didn't cover Christmas. We covered Most Wanted.
Yes, that's true.
Which was definitely a 1. Not a horror movie in any way, shape, or form. So this is one of our
silly ones. But as I keep rationalizing, though, I have to, just to keep including these things. Doppelgangers can also be a twin or mistaken identity situation. So that's why I keep including them.
You're justifying this kid's movie by saying that a doppelganger could be a mistaken identity.
Yes, I am.
As if there's no horror movies that cover that topic.
Well, there's plenty. We've covered them.
I know, that's not a justification then.
I think you need a wide range, though. We need degrees, not like a bunch of the same movies.
It's almost like we need 13 of them.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I found us.
It's okay. Well, see, look, the intro makes sense. When I say this is a mostly horror podcast, this is the instance where it's not.
Yes. Just to please Stephanie.
So just to spice it up. You know, Stephanie, likes horror movies, but is not the biggest horror movie.
Yeah.
He's scary. But it's a nice little break from terror.
Sometimes you just need like a little gentle little movie that covers it.
You know what? That's a palate cleanser.
Yes.
We'll go with that.
Yes, that's fair.
So this is our one movie. Are you ready to hear some movie background?
Yes, please.
Muppets Most Wanted is a 2014 American musical heist comedy film directed by James Bobbin, produced by David Hoberman and Todd Lieberman, and written by Bobbin and Nicholas Stoller. Produced by Walt Disney Pictures and Mandeville Films, it is the 8th theatrical film featuring the Muppets and serves as a sequel to The Muppets in 2011.
Yeah, I remember they had like this comeback movie. I don't remember why. Like maybe it's because it had been since the 90s they had made a movie.
I don't know. I remember The Muppets coming out, like the one literally just called The Muppets. I didn't realize this was a direct sequel.
Yeah, I always thought, at least from the movies I watched as a kid, it was kind of like treating them as their own individual, I don't know, like slice of life kind of situations.
Yeah, one-off stories.
Yeah.
I will say, I've never seen The Muppets, the 2011 one.
No, I haven't either.
So I feel like you could still watch this movie without seeing The Muppets.
Yeah, there was like a little bit of a reference to the previous movie, but
nothing that you're like, it's gonna...
like where you can't understand the story.
Right. It's a
child story.
Yeah,
You'll
for sure.
get it.
You'll be fine. I'm sure that one Muppet that's kind of like a little boy...
Yeah.
I feel like was...
Charlie was upset with him, and he's like, who is he?
Yeah, I feel like he was from the first one.
He is. I mentioned that in the notes.
Oh, huh.
I covered it because he kept bringing it up.
Who, Charlie?
Yes. He was like, who is this guy?
He's a new guy. Leave him alone. Don't worry about it.
He is the imposter. Like,
he's the what imposter?
He is the imposter.
No, it's not him.
No, he isn't.
The film stars Ricky Gervais, Ty Burrell, Tina Fey, alongside Muppet performers Steve Whitmire, Eric Jacobson, Dave Goles, Bill Beretta, David Rudman, Matt Bogle, and Peter Linz. Felt like I needed to list them out. So there you go.
Yeah. Maybe I need to look it up, but I swear Josh Groban is in the end of this.
He is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a shit ton of people.
Right. Okay. I just didn't see his name listed, so I was like, maybe it
wasn't him. Yeah. No, those people I listed off were like the performers or the puppets themselves.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's like so many cameos.
Yeah.
That I would consider them cameos because they're just like one-off.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many. Let me pull it up really quick. Because I didn't name them all, but...
There's quite a few.
Yeah. So some of the cameos from this movie that you probably would notice: Stanley Tucci, Selma Hayek, Ross Lynch, Saoirse Ronan was in this. Danny Trejo plays Danny Trejo, which was hilarious.
That was funny.
Lady Gaga, Usher's in it, Celine Dion.
Mm-hmm. Can I just talk about the funny scene where she talks about Danny Trejo?
Yeah, of course.
So I won't mention it in the plot just because it's just a little funny moment here. We sent her on a jail in a couple of scenes, and at one point the prison warden's just like, good night, prison king. Good night, axe slinger. Good night, Danny Trejo.
Yeah, they just say his name.
Yeah.
That's why, like, oh, he's just playing himself.
Yes.
I'm not expecting that, but it checks out.
Mm-hmm.
James McAvoy is in it. Josh Groban, as you said. P. Diddy's in it. There's so many people.
There's some people I don't even remember seeing, but like I remember Usher and Stanley Tucci.
Oh, yeah. Tony Bennett, Chloe Grace Moretz, Debbie Ryan from Disney Channel back in the day was in it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and more. There was more, but that's... I am not going through everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
But that was exciting.
Mm-hmm.
This was actually Tony Bennett's final film before his retirement in 2021. And... later death 2 years later.
Oh, that's sad.
I know. Muppets Most Wanted had its world premiere at the El Capitan Theater in Los Angeles on March 11th in 2014 and was released theatrically in North America on March 21st by Walt Disney Studios Motion Pictures. The film was not as successful as its predecessor, grossing about $80.4 million worldwide on a budget of $51 million. It received positive reviews from critics who praised its humor, music, and emotion. The film was dedicated to longtime Muppet performer Jerry Nelson, who died during the film's development, and Jane Henson, who died 2 months into production.
Oh.
On June 13th, 2013, the title of the film was changed from The Muppets Again to Muppets Most Wanted, although the original title is actually mentioned in the opening song.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it was originally just called The Muppets ... Again, exclamation point. But they changed it.
I mean, they do have that whole opening song, like, this is a sequel, and I was like, oh, oops. Like,
Does the first one have to do with doppelgangers? Probably not.
I didn't think so.
So we can't do that.
Nope.
Oops. That's okay.
Whoopsie.
Rotten Tomatoes gave the film a score of 80% based on reviews from 197 critics with a rating average of 6.7 out of 10. The site's critical consensus stated, while it may not reach the delirious heights of the Muppets, Muppets Most Wanted still packs in enough clever gags, catchy songs, and celebrity cameos to satisfy fans of all ages. Metacritic gave the film a score of 61 out of 100 based on 37 reviews, indicating generally favorable reviews. CinemaScore audience gave Muppets Most Wanted a B+ grade rating on a A+ to F scale. So, in the B range.
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah, it was fine.
It was pretty good.
Did we actually say if we liked it? Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
It was good. It was too long.
It was a little long. Like, you figure with a kid's movie, tight, hour and a half at the most, but this was like 2 hours.
It was over 2 hours. I was like, although, actually not quite, because there was 18 minutes worth of credits.
Oh, okay. That's fair.
Because I remember,
But they did have a lot of people.
Yeah, it was going on and on and on. And then I'm like, okay, it feels like we're wrapping this up. And it still was 18 minutes left. And I'm like, holy shit, this was all credits. And then I skipped towards the end because I thought maybe there was a post-credit scene.
Oh, was there?
No.
No? Oh, okay.
I don't, unless I missed it. No, I didn't see it.
Mm.
It was just a lot of credits.
Yeah, okay.
So I was like, okay. So it's really an hour and 45 minutes so.
Okay, and just so we know, in case anyone's wondering what the original was about, Walter, the world's biggest Muppet fan, is on vacation in Los Angeles with his brother Gary, Jason Segel, and Gary's girlfriend, Mary Amy Adams. They discovered that greedy Tex Richmond, Chris Cooper, plans to completely destroy Muppet Studios and drill for oil on the spot. Desperate to save the Muppets' former stomping grounds, the three friends join forces with Kermit to reunite Miss Piggy, Fozzie, and the rest of the gang to hold a telethon to raise the $10 million they need to save the studio. Huh. Oh, so it's like a get the band back together kind of movie.
I kind of fuck with that idea.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm going to watch that now.
That's fair. Are you ready for the plot?
Yes, ma'am.
After wrapping up on a film, the Muppets, along with new addition Walter from the previous film, find themselves at a loss of what to do next to drum up fans. They meet with Dominic Bad Guy, who suggests they go on a European tour with him as their tour manager.
Well, how does he say it's pronounced?
Bagay or something?
Yeah,
something.
Badgo or something?
Yeah.
Dominic Bad Guy. I was like, oh,
they get right to the point of he's the one.
Yeah, keep an eye out. That's Ricky Gervais's character.
Mm-hmm. As the Muppets tour begins, in a Siberian gulag, a criminal mastermind frog named Constantine that looks nearly identical to Kermit, except for a mole on his face, escapes and joins his subordinate Dominic to begin a plot to steal the crown jewels of the United Kingdom.
This is a completely different kind of vibe. I didn't see the first one, but based on what you just told me, this is completely out of left field. Who thought of this idea?
Yeah, and there's a lot of crime show references and stuff throughout this, so it's funny. Once in Berlin, Dominic tells the Muppets that he secured a prestigious venue that's conveniently located next to Berlin's National Museum.
Oh, wow. How did that happen?
Mm-hmm.
How coincidental.
Yep. However, Kermit begins to worry about selling enough tickets to keep them afloat, while the other Muppets are constantly asking to perform excessive or unreasonable acts like indoor running of the bulls. And Miss Piggy is also pressuring him to get married.
Dude, Kermit, I feel so bad for him.
He looks stressed.
That'd be me in the situation. Everyone's like, oh, it's fine. Let's do this. I'm like, no, we need to follow the plans.
Yes.
What are the rules?
Yeah. So Dominic suggests he go out and clear his head, where Constantine ambushes him and glues a fake mole to his face before slipping away. And it's real funny. It's all foggy, and this frog in a cloak just kind of zips past him and slams this mole on his face and just slips away.
Yeah, this is the part where the meme comes from.
Yes, exactly.
He's shrouded in mystery.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't do this quite yet, but he covers up his with green paint.
Yeah. I didn't mention that in the plot, so go for it.
Oh, that was it. He covers up his with some green paint, and it's Kermit. He has a very thick Russian accent, obviously.
And he never disguises it very well.
Not even
every time he talks to them, he's like, "Hello."
It's me, Kermit.
It is me, Kermit. Couldn't be T-Frog. Mistaken for Constantine, Kermit is sent to the Gulag. Taking Kermit's place with the assistance of Dominic, he pulls off a bad impression of Kermit, which the others accept, but Animal knows it's not the real Kermit.
Animal's my favorite.
Yes, he's like, him. Bad Frog.
Bad Frog. I think he's my favorite Muppet, I think, out of all of them.
He's fun.
Do you have a favorite Muppet?
Well, Charlie says that I'm Beeper.
It's actually Beaker.
Or Beaker?
Yeah, like B-E-A-K.
Oh, yeah, because of the science thing.
Yeah.
But that's fair. I'm also...
At first I was like, Beeper. I'm like, oh, Beaker. Because you text... Hey, that Charlie said you're Beaker. I like Beaker. He's funny. So.
Yeah.
Is that what he thinks of you? That's all he hears when you talk?
I guess so.
Wow.
Yeah, that's my husband.
What a peach.
My favorite is probably Fozzie Bear. I like him. Waka waka.
Gonzo's cool. I don't know. Like them all for different reasons, but I think Animal's my favorite.
Yeah. I do like Gonzo. And weirdly enough, though, the rat wasn't in it. What's the rat's name?
Oh, yeah.
I saw like his backup singers in one scene, but...
I don't know. I remember him from the pirate movie.
Yeah.
Because he had the little spyglass, I think.
Yeah. What's his name?
Rizzo. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that's it. But he wasn't in this.
I liked him. Yeah, where was he? Look at that little guy.
Yeah.
Those little leggies.
It always looks weird to me when they show their legs.
I know. Yeah, when they have the full body shot, you're like, oh my god. Like,
no, please don't.
I don't know how I feel about that.
At the opening of the Berlin performance, Constantine gets stage fright introducing the show, so Scooter has to do it for him. During the Muppets performance, Constantine and Dominic steal paintings from the museum next door. So the next morning, Interpol agent Jean-Pierre Napoleon and CIA agent Sam the Eagle grudgingly team up to apprehend the culprit. Napoleon believes it may be the lemur, the most known criminal in the world, second to Constantine. Meanwhile, Kermit has attempted several times to escape the gulag, but is thwarted each time by prison guard Nadia, who is not only aware of his true identity, but is also infatuated with him like Miss Piggy. Nadia orders Kermit to help organize the prisoners' annual talent show, either that or go to the wall, which is just an ice wall that she sticks him to.
I know. Wait, did she know that it wasn't Constantine?
Yeah, the whole time.
I didn't get that part. Am I
like she's like, even if it's not you?
Oh, I didn't.
They kind of figure out in the prison yard like right away. Like Kermit says thank you at some point. Yeah. They're all like, "You're not Constantine."
Yeah, because Kermit returns and they're all like, "Constantine's back, woo!" And then he like thanks them, and they all slowly turn around to like, "Wait a minute." I didn't realize she didn't know.
No, everyone knows. And
that makes it so much better. That's so funny.
Yeah, because they directly call him Kermit after a while. Like,
I missed that.
Yeah. Because at first they just don't believe him, but then after a while they're like, yeah, it's probably Kermit, but who cares? You're in Gulag now.
Yeah, I guess so. Damn, that's rough.
Mm-hmm.
They don't give a shit.
Following hidden instructions on the stolen painting of Colonel Thomas Blood, from the last person best known for his attempt on the crown jewels in 1671, Constantine and Dominic divert the tour to Madrid, Spain. Constantine allows the Muppets to perform whatever they wish, much to Walter's confusion. During this show, Constantine and Dominic break into the museum and destroy a room full of busts to find a key needed for their plan. Even though the performance is a disaster, the Muppets receive critical acclaim.
Wait a minute. Yeah, that's a hot mess. Like, Piggy's singing. Is this the part where she's singing with Celine Dion? Or is that later? I can't remember.
She keeps on asking Kermit and then Constantine if she can just sing like 5 Celine Dion songs in a row. And then finally she does this big song. It's later in the movie, but then Celine Dion comes on and sings with her.
I was not expecting that at all.
It wasn't like at a performance, though. It was like
a
singing montage kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And Sam and Napoleon deduce that the connection between the crimes is the Muppet Tour, and the pair interrogates the Muppets only to find that they are too ill-equipped to be guilty. It's funny. They're like, they can't. They're too stupid.
Yeah. I mean, good for them. Because, otherwise they would have been...
in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
The instructions on the stolen key lead Constantine and Dominic to schedule the next show in Dublin, Ireland. In Dublin, Walter discovers that Dominic has been giving away show tickets and bribing critics, journalists to ensure a packed house and rave reviews. While Fozzie notices Kermit's resemblance to Constantine, finally.
Finally! The only difference is the mole on the face. Mm-hmm. Girl, pull it together!
And they're literally just putting their finger over the mole on the picture of Constantine in the paper of the wanted ad. And they're like, so who's this? And you're like, Constantine. And then they put their finger, it's Kermit!
It's Kermit!
What do you think? They both realize that Constantine has taken Kermit's place and brought in Dominic as his accomplice. Constantine attacks Walter and Fozzie, but Animal fends him off, and the three escape from the train to rescue Kermit. During the Dublin performance, Dominic steals a locket from the Bank of Ireland, and Constantine proposes to Miss Piggy on stage. Miss Piggy accepts, and the pair plan a wedding ceremony to be held at the Tower of London in London, England, where the crown jewels are kept. Okay.
Hey, you know what? Whatever it takes to get to where they need to go.
Mm-hmm.
At first, I was kind of not disappointed in the plot, but I'm like, hey, you know what? That actually is kind of clever, making them perform where they need to go.
Yeah.
It's the perfect
It's like National
plan.
Treasure-ish.
I love National Treasure. Do you like National Treasure?
I know a lot of guys that like National Treasure. No, National Treasure is a good movie.
I don't know what it is about it, but I remember it was last year I really wanted to watch National Treasure, and I was not signed into Disney Plus. I was like, no. I was like,
my day is ruined.
Kind of. I was like, I want to watch National Treasure after work. I did not watch National Treasure after work. It's okay.
Have you watched it since?
No.
No.
But now I might. I'm on vacation this week. So
you should. Yeah.
Maybe I'll watch 1 and 2.
Ooh, as a treat.
As a little treat for me. I'll watch it with Zuko.
Yeah, there you go. I'm sure he'll love it.
So suspenseful.
It is. And it's really funny how they figure out stuff. Not funny, but interesting.
Yeah. I like those adventure movies.
Fozzie, Walter, and Animal reach the Siberian gulag on the night of the performance, and Kermit uses it as a front to allow himself and all the prisoners to escape the gulag. Kermit, Fozzie, and Walter and Animal infiltrate the tower as the wedding begins, and Dominic, with the help of Bobby Benson's baby band, manages to steal the jewels. These are Cabbage Patch dolls.
Is that what they're called? Bobby Benson's baby band?
You can tell me all you want, whatever they're called. They are Cabbage Patch dolls.
Yeah, I didn't know they had a name.
I didn't know either.
They were little baby Muppets, and they were very disturbing looking.
Yeah, very creepy.
This is actually a 2 on the scale. Whatever we have is 2. Switch them. That was terrifying.
Yeah, they were icky.
These little babies. Ew.
They're strange looking. I thought they were Cabbage Patch dolls just because, I don't know, around the same time. I don't know.
Well, they had the same face shape and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And Muppets that look human, no. Stick to the animals, the creatures. Do not give me a Muppet that looks somewhat human-like.
It just looks wrong.
It isn't, again, I kind of mentioned the Uncanny Valley stage. That's where we're at there. I was like,
even Walter looks a little too close sometimes.
Yeah, he wasn't as egregious. Because I think he was what? What color was he? Yellow?
He's yellowish, but he's wearing kind of normal clothes and stuff. And I mean, Miss Piggy does too, but she's a pig. So
right. And if I were to make a Muppet, I would not go for human.
No.
I would do I'm going to do an animal. I would do something
that's the more
fun.
fun one. Yeah.
Not a human.
Yeah.
Ew.
Humans are icky.
Oh yeah, they are. And also the Muppets are
fuzzy. Yeah.
It doesn't look right.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. Kermit interrupts the ceremony, revealing Constantine's ruse, but the crook takes Miss Piggy hostage and flees to a helicopter where he is intercepted by Dominic, who is actually the lemur and intends to double-cross him. And he's in this huge lemur getup. I was oh.
A skin tight.
That's not what I was expecting.
I know. I was expecting a lemur, not a man in a lemur.
Another Muppet kind of creature, yeah.
Which would have been much better.
Uh-huh. I would like that, too.
Let's just scrap that plot twist and actually get the lemur.
Yeah.
Proper.
Yes.
Not this man.
Constantine ejects him out of the helicopter and tries to take off with Miss Piggy, but Kermit jumps aboard, and the rest of the Muppets climb atop each other to stop the escape. Kermit and Piggy knock out Constantine, and both criminals are arrested by Sam and Napoleon. Nadia arrives in London to arrest Kermit for escaping despite the latter being innocent the whole time.
That's ridiculous.
It's just because she loves him and she wants to spend more time with him.
I mean, we could do that without, you know, being in jail.
Nope. She likes that it's convenient too.
That was such a
work
weird...
and love.
Yeah, that was like such a weird like side plot in this movie. Like, that wasn't necessary, but I'm not mad that it happened.
No.
Especially now that I knew she knew it was Kermit the whole time.
Yeah.
That makes it like 10 times better.
Right.
Yep, you know what? I like it even more now. I'd rather the movie just been Kermit trying to escape the gulag.
Yeah, no actual side plot.
Yeah, that should have been the main focus. I don't care about the heist anymore. I just want to see Tina Fey's relationship with Kermit.
Yes, please.
They should do like a second sequel where it's just Kermit's point of view the entire time.
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah, there you go. Back at the gulag.
Yeah, back at the gulag. Yeah, Muppets. Yeah, back at the gulag. That's as good as it's going to get.
The other Muppets tell her that if she arrests him, then she will have to take all of them back as well. And I was like, she just lost all of her inmates, so she has the room.
Yeah.
But she relents, allowing Kermit to go free. The Muppets perform at the gulag with Constantine and the prisoners participating. It was funny. Sometimes.
I liked the part because, like, we didn't really go too in depth with the talent show thing or play they were doing.
Yeah.
They were really getting into it. The prisoners.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, okay. I'd watch a show from them.
Mm-hmm. They did a song from Chorus Line when they were doing the auditions and stuff.
Oh, is that what it's from?
Mm-hmm. I had to look it up. But I remember hearing it before. Yeah. Who was it that kept trying to sing? Oh, Tina Fey really wanted to sing, but she wasn't good.
Oh, yeah.
And Kermit was like, yeah, and you can do your solo after.
When it's over.
And then it cut to the end credit.
Kermit was so dirty for that.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Like, she has a crush on you. Just be like a little nice.
No, Kermit's all business. He's like, this is what we're going to do. Sorry, you can't do your shitty performance. You got to keep it good.
So do you want to hear about criminal cases that involved imposters?
Yes.
So, obviously, an imposter is a person who pretends to be someone else in order to deceive others, especially for fraudulent gain.
What?
Yes.
I didn't know.
And then, as an example, we have the case of the tyke board claimant. And this is from an article from the History Channel for 6 infamous imposters.
Infamous?
Yes.
Infamous.
Infamous.
I'm so infamous.
I'm so famous it's in.
Not out, it's in.
And this is a case that captivated Victorian England.
Oh.
In 1854, Sir Roger Tykeborn.
Oh, that's his name.
Yes.
Okay, I was like, is that a thing that I should know?
No. A member of an aristocratic British family left South Africa on a ship that soon was lost at sea. He was presumed dead. And devastated by her son's disappearance, Tykeborn's mother, convinced he was still alive, placed ads in the newspaper around the world offering a reward for information about Roger. In 1865, so this is like 11 years later, a man purporting to be the missing heir came forward saying he'd been saved from the shipwreck and taken to Australia, where he'd been working as a butcher and going by the name Tom Castro.
Oh! Okay.
Yeah, you know, like you do.
Yeah, I guess I better just get a new identity and just work as a butcher for 11 years.
Yeah, I don't think I'll go back to my mom or anything.
No, this is fine.
After Castro traveled to England, Lady Tykeborn decided he was her long-lost son, Roger. However, when Castro tried to claim a share of the family fortune, he was challenged by other Tykeborn relatives. They hired investigators who alleged Castro was actually a London-born butcher named Arthur Orton. So he wasn't even in Australia. Ever.
Why would he lie about where he was?
That's weird.
I mean, he didn't lie about being a butcher, at least.
I guess so.
He was indeed a butcher, so that's good.
Yeah. One truth and 2 lies.
Yeah.
During the subsequent trial, a number of people supported the so-called Tykeborn claimant, but a story had discrepancies, including the fact he didn't know French, a language Roger had spoken, and he failed to prove his case.
Oh. I just forgot, you know?
You know, I've been away for so long.
When you don't use something, you lose it, you know?
In 1873, the claimant went on trial for perjury, and the following year was convicted of impersonating Roger Tichborne. In an age long before photo IDs and DNA testing, the claimant's trial, some of the lengthiest in English legal history, captivated the public and divided British society, with many average citizens believing the claimant was being robbed of his rightful inheritance. Claimant spent a decade behind bars and after his release accepted money to admit he was an imposter, only to later retract his confession. And he died in 1898.
He's like, I'm an imposter. Just kidding.
For monies.
For money. Oh my God. What? Even?
Yeah.
The gall. Like, and what's the homegirl didn't even realize it wasn't her son?
Like.
Yeah, 11 years. It was 11 years went by.
But like, still... how different could your son be? Like, I mean, granted, I guess they sent him pretty young at the time, probably to go fight and stuff, but.
I feel like, I don't know. I don't know what I feel like. I'm trying to think if, like, someone I knew left for 11 years, hadn't seen them or heard from them, and they came back.
Well, wait, no, he didn't even go to fight. He was just left on a ship, so. And there was a shipwreck, so. I don't know. I guess depends how old.
But what if that actually was him? That'd be crazy. That'd be a twist, because I guess we don't really know. Outside of him saying it wasn't him.
But he retracted. So, maybe he just needs some money.
I'm a baby with no money?
I'm a baby with no money.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
I don't know if the French is the more damning evidence, I would say. Yeah, no.
That's like, fair.
I just didn't know anymore. I gave up. I forgot.
Yeah, I guess so. And there's also a documentary called The Imposter from 2012, which is really interesting. I guess not as nefarious as trying to steal money. It's a little bit like, I mean, it's dishonest, obviously.
Right. That's bad.
But I'll read to you like the summary of the story.
Okay.
So the story begins in a phone box in Spain where Burden phones the police saying he is a tourist who has found a young boy in a phone box and the police should collect him. He is taken to a children's home and says he is American. He has to be left in an office overnight to call his family. There he uses records in the office to contact various sheriff's offices in the USA asking about missing children.
What?
Through one lead, he gets the name Nicholas Barclay. He then calls to another U.S. agency claiming to be a Spanish official and asking to fax info on Nicholas. This is done and begins a task of Burden trying to look like Nicholas, including getting matching tattoos and dyeing his hair blonde.
What the hell?
How did he do this all in a police?
He's super efficient.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
This is all like in a police station?
He's ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
He's tattooing himself in a police station.
Just like, I just need to get my hands on some bleach real bad right now.
Oh, to bleach his hair?
Yeah, I like to make it blonde.
Oh, yeah.
Nicholas's family is told of the discovery and the sister flies to Spain to collect him. A court decides it is Nicholas and he is declared a U.S. citizen. She takes him back to San Antonio in Texas, where most of the family accept him. The mother is especially keen to welcome him and recognize him as her son.
No, girl.
Mm-hmm.
Wrong.
Borden, who turned out to have a long record of impersonating various children, real or imaginary, embellished his claim to be Nicholas Barclay by alleging that he had been kidnapped for purposes of sexual abuse by Mexican, European, and U.S. military personnel.
Jeez.
And transported from the U.S. to Spain. His impersonation fooled several officials in Spain and the U.S., and he was apparently accepted by many of Barclay's family members, even though he was 7 years older than Barclay, spoke with a French accent, and had brown eyes and dark hair rather than Barclay's blue eyes and blonde hair. So they were just like, any kid will do.
Not even, they closed their eyes and like, you.
If I remember too, I listened to a podcast about this documentary, and I believe like the kid had been missing for like several years, so they probably were like at the verge of giving up hope. And then this kid just kind of arrives and they're like, yeah, he says so. And they assume like he's gone through so much trauma and everything, like why push it?
Oh my God, that's absolutely sad. They probably just picked any random person just to make it seem like they were competent. They're like, yep, we found him. It's like a girl.
Yeah, I guess so.
That's crazy.
And the impersonation was eventually discovered as a result of the suspicions of a private investigator, Charles Parker, and an FBI agent, Nancy Fisher.
It took a private investigator for them to realize.
And an FBI agent. Like that their own child wasn't their child.
Use your eyeballs. Like, use your eyes and look that nothing's right.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't need a detective to realize that the features of your son are completely incorrect.
Right.
That is absolutely crazy to me.
It is. And Burton was arrested, and Interpol confirmed he was Burton, was 23 years old and had a long criminal record. In custody, Burton tells the police that the family killed the real Nicholas, and that is why they accepted him, as to hide the crime.
They killed him?
I don't know if that's really the truth, though. That's probably just his claim.
Bitch.
The main suspect is his brother Jason, who is already dead and so is a ready scapegoat.
Oh, that didn't happen then.
Leighton said of Burton, he invites sympathy. He has this childlike quality about him, and he can be very charming. And at other times, he can be quite repellent because he can be remorseless. And you're reminded about what he did. So as a filmmaker, I was asking, how can I find a way of getting the audience to experience a bit of that? That's, I guess, what the director said about the documentary.
What in God's name? Okay, so wait. So there was no reason for him to do, like, what was the motive? Was there one?
So the missing kid, Nicholas, he failed to return home after a game of basketball in San Antonio, and police thought he was kidnapped and murdered as his body was never found.
Okay.
And then Frédéric Pierre Bourdin is a French serial imposter the press has nicknamed the Chameleon. He began his impersonations as a child and claims to have assumed at least 500 false identities, 3 being teenage missing people. He was a fatherless child with a distracted mother. Burton was an outcast as a youth and began to impersonate orphans as a way of getting attention. His story was always the same. He only wanted a family and a place to be schooled. That's what they say.
I don't know about that, but if that's true, that's kind of sad.
Yeah, he was sentenced to 6 years in prison after pleading guilty to passport fraud and perjury in the case of Nicholas Barclay. However, during his time behind bars, the imposter continued to maintain the story he'd created with Barclay.
I guess that's the one he's gonna die on that hill for.
Yeah. I mean, there's a documentary and stuff about him, and now he's, like, listed on, like, popular cases of imposters, so.
Yeah. Nice try, we know.
Yeah.
You're never gonna get away with this again.
No.
Although, again, with the fact that the parents or the mom
Still, yeah.
couldn't recognize, maybe he would get away with it again. Who knows? They'd be like, oh, are you my son that went missing? Definitely.
Yeah. Honestly, and this is probably one of those ripped from the headlines cases on Law & Order SVU. There is a similar episode where a girl returns after being missing from her family for 10 years, and it turns out she's just a girl that perused some, like, child missing sites and figured out a girl that looked like her.
Oh my God.
And then it turns out that the whole family accepted her, but the sister was kind of like, ew, like, it's awful that you're back. And it turns out she killed the original girl, you know, like the actual sister.
Oh my God.
And she was just like, why did you have to come back and choose us? Like,
oh my God. She killed?
Yeah, like an accident, but.
Oh, well, still, jeez.
But she covered it up, so, yeah.
I'd be like, ghost?
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed the show and listen on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, giving us a 5-star rating is super helpful, and we will always appreciate it.
You can find us on social media at 13 Degrees of Screams.
This has been 13 Degrees of Screams, and we will see you next week.
God, I hope I get it. I hope I get it. How many people does he need? How many boys? How many girls? How many people does he need?
Is this Rain Toad?
No.
What is that?
That's from Chorus Line. That's what the song they sang.
Oh! Okay, disregard.
Oops.